thought I'd do a little update on where we are at the moment with my ferrets. This is the Jill that I'm keeping from Bonnie's litter, so they've all now gone. Unfortunately, 2 of the hobs died. Not actually sure what they died from, but I think they were like an internal infection. When they were going to the toilet, their poo was drying up around the bum and sort of stopping them from pooing. So I think they developed an internal infection. One was okay, and he sort of lasted about another 3 weeks, and I was feeding him separately and giving him goat's milk and food, and he just wasn't right on his legs. And then one night he just totally went downhill. The following morning he was dead. So there's not a lot I can do. But this is the Jill I'm keeping. She's now 12 weeks old. I've now put her in the main penthouse with her mum Bonnie. So she's in there. I've had to take out Barney, Betty, her gran. Barney's still in season, and Betty just got a bit violent towards Bonnie. I don't know why. So I've took them out. So this is, I'm going to call her Doris. A long story behind that, but yeah, this is Doris. Lovely little kit. She looks just like her gran and Barney. So yeah, she's doing really well. So like I say, she's now in the penthouse. So I'm going to put her back in because I've just fed them as well. They've got a rabbit, and I'm going to get Rosie's litter out, which are now 5 weeks old tomorrow, and they've literally just opened their eyes. I started to open their eyes, and I'll show you what there is of them. I'm planning on keeping a Jill and a hob off that litter. I was going to keep one of Doris's hobs, but it was the one that died, unfortunately. But never mind, it is what it is. So we'll pop her away, and I've got a tub, and I'm going to get all of the kits out. I'll put Rosie away in a box, and I'll get her kits out, and I'll go through what there is, and then yeah, somebody's content. We'll do that now. So this is all of Rosie's litter. She's had 7 kits, same as Bonnie. In this litter there was 3 Jills and 4 hobs, whereas Bonnie only had 1 Jill and 6 hobs. Now that they've got their eyes open, we can actually see what we've got albino wise, and surprisingly the 5 that aren't coloured, so these 5 are all albinos, and of these there's the 3 Jills and 2 hobs, just like the dad. They're all albinos. So they're all doing great at the moment. All nice weights on them. They're all eating rabbit now. They all seem to be okay. There don't seem to be any issues. The 2 dark ones, which is this one and this one, both boys. I think I'm going to be keeping this one, the darker one, and this one's already going to another home. I'm sure that's the one he asked for. If not, it'll be the other way around. Right, nice colours on them. Strange patterning, to be honest, but stripe right down the middle of his back. And then that one's got one as well, a darker stripe. And then the rest, like I say, are all albinos, so I'll be keeping a Jill. And then the other 2 Jills are also going to homes already, and the 2 hobs that have left are the only 2 I've got to find homes for. Like I say, they're all eating rabbit now. I just chuck a rabbit in with them, and they all know what it is, so they all come out and feed on it, and it'll be gone within a day. Another thing I've found just recently with this hot weather if you do have problems where it is getting too hot, the thing I tend to do is if you just get like a 2 litre lemonade bottle or whatever, milk bottle, plastic one, fill it with water, chuck it in the freezer, and then that's just been laid in the hutch all day, and they'll just lie around it or near it. And then the other thing I have, which I also do, it's just a little desktop fan. I'll just sit that blowing air into the 2 hutches. Doesn't blow cold air, but it gets the air moving, so it does tend to help keep them cool. So what I'll do is I'll pop these back in the hutch and I'll feed them now. It's later on at night now, it's about 7:30 at night, so it's a lot cooler. I find as well that if you feed them at this time there's less flies, even though you get flies during the day. There doesn't tend to be the flies around now. The other thing I'm going to mention, which I'll show you, is about, I get asked a lot on how to introduce ferrets with each other. So I'm just going to point out a couple of things. What I'll do is I'll put these away and I'll get Barney and Billy out. I want to just show you something. So this is Billy. He's the albino hob that's the father of both litters, Bonnie's litter and Rosie's litter we've just seen. Now he's a complete hob, so he's not been castrated or anything. Now what I was a bit surprised at is that people didn't know that hobs come into season the same as gills. Now with hobs, they'll come into season at the same time as the females, around March, April, May time, depending on sort of daylight hours, which is what brings females into season, and males. Now they will come out of season same as they come in, and once they're over a year old they will start to get a pair of testicles if they're complete hobs. Now as you can see now, Billies are about gone, very small, and they are going. In a week or two they'll be gone, so he's now coming out of season. So he's back in the penthouse with the gills, and he's fine. He won't want to mate with anybody, which he isn't that bothered. You can see they're still there slightly, but they'll be gone. Now I'm going to show you the difference with Barney. Now he's a complete hob, the same as Billy, but he's had a vasectomy, so he still comes in and out of season. And at the moment he's still in season, so that's why I've had to take him out of the penthouse when I've put Billy, Bonnie and Doris in there, because he was a bit rampant and a bit fighting with Billy really. So I'll just get him out now. So nobody's fighting. So this is Barney. He's my other complete hob. All the other hobs have been castrated, Clyde and Charlie. So he's had a vasectomy, so he takes all my gills out of season when I don't want to breed with them. And as you can see, he has a bigger pair of testicles, which they are going down now slightly. So he's still in season, but he's coming out. So I've had to put him in this other hutch, which Billy was in. So yeah, if you're looking to introduce ferrets, if they're in season, to be honest, you don't want to be introducing them, because all they'll want to do is mate. So you're better off waiting until the end of August, which is when all your ferrets should be out of season. If they're younger than a year, they won't come into seasons, such as your gills and your hobs that are castrated. They won't come into season until they're a year old or the following year. So if they're just kits, you shouldn't have a problem. Now if you have an older ferret that you want to introduce a younger kit to, you see they're better off if the male's castrated. Females can be a problem because they'll tend to mother the kit. They'll want to drag it into the nest box, keep it in the nest box and try and look after it. So you're better off again waiting until they're all out of season. Another thing to do is, if you have them in separate hutches, is swap them over and let them smell each other. Let them spend a week in each other's hutches, so they get to smell each other, they get to know each other by the smells. And also another thing you can do is hold them and offer them up to the wire so they can see each other, rather than just, let me put him away. Rather than just chucking him in and hoping that they get on with each other, because you can guarantee they won't. Yeah, you can hold them up to the wire, let them smell each other, let them see each other, let them get to know each other, and then when you do eventually introduce them, make sure that you're there with them to separate them if anything does happen. But 9 times out of 10, if they're not in season, if they're young kits, you can usually introduce young kits, because all young kits will want to do is play. And if they're sort of seeing each other and smell each other, you shouldn't have so much of a problem. There will be a little bit of fighting, and it's usually because you'll have an hierarchy of like top male, top female, and you'll have a pecking order that works its way down, and they'll just want to show each other who's boss type thing. You get it in all animals. Other than that, that's about it. What I do plan to do in the next 3 weeks, all of Rosie's litter will be going, apart from the hob and the Jill that I'm keeping. So after that, after they've all gone and Barney's out of season, I'll put them all in the penthouse. There should be, I think it's 11 ferrets in there. But what I'm going to do is I will do a live stream from in the penthouse. I'll be sat in there with the ferrets, and we'll have a questions and answers session, and I'll do a bit of handling of the kits in there, because there'll be obviously 3 kits, 2 new ones plus Doris. So yeah, I'll plan to do that in the next 3-4 weeks. So if you like this, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. I'll put all the links to all of my social media pages. Follow me on any of them in the description below, and there's also the links on the home page on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe.